Hey, Steve Zook here. Welcome back to Poke Channel. Hey, on an earlier video, I was discussing transitional ideas for lead guitar and for developing compositional skills, and I used the term the glue that puts together a composition. And I want to kind of continue with that idea, and I want to share something I'm working on, which is kind of a fusion-y piece, and kind of a good example, I think, of this idea. And I think behind every great guitar player, there's a lot more than meets the eye. Good example is Mark Knopfler, incredible player. And Yngwie Malmsteen. There's more to Yngwie Malmsteen than just somebody who just shreds leads a million miles an hour. If you watch his work with the Japan Philharmonic and the classical pieces he wrote, incredible. I mean, he is a composer. You know, it's kind of easy to look at Yngwie and just kind of see this guy who plays pretty damn dynamic leads, right? And loves his harmonic minors and what he calls Phrygian and whatever, and he does lots of arpeggios and stuff. He's a really great player. I really like his playing well. I've learned things from Yngwie. I think we all learn from each other. I think that's an important thing. It's not a Pat Martino said eliminate. This is really cool. I got this one, years ago. I had showed some of my guitar instruction material to, well, at that time was the Guitar Institute of Technology. I think Ronnie Benson was the manager at the time, and I went in there and I showed him some of my guitar instruction materials and played for him a little bit, and he played for me, and he liked my material a lot, but he said, well, we've already got somebody kind of covering that, but we really enjoyed talking. But he was telling me some stories about Pat Martino, and it was pretty incredible. But he said one of the things Pat Martino said was, eliminate competition and deceit from your life and you can do anything you want. I thought, wow, that was incredible. He said Pat Martino should have been walking around in a white robe or something, but that's a pretty interesting thing, and I think the point of that being is that we're not competing with each other. We're learning from each other, and we're all in this together. And I happen to believe we're all one anyway. But like I always make the joke, don't get me started on metaphysics. I'll never shut up. But anyway, we learn from each other. And Yngwie really has a great feel for compositions because Yngwie listens to a lot of classical music. So he's been, and so that's why, honestly, you're going to get out of your guitar playing what you put into it. But if you listen to really good musicians and composers, you're going to accelerate a lot quicker. And if you really want to accelerate, get my guitar ladder course. But listen to Joe Pass, listen to a ton of Bach, like not all kinds, but especially harpsichord and piano, Bach. Listen to Paco de la Thea, flamenco guitar. Listen to just listen to great musicians. But anyway, let's go to this idea. And the last thing I was talking about things like this. Now, I want to share something that I'm working on so you can kind of see how, and I must admit, in the back of my mind, I'm kind of thinking J.S. Bach, because he had a way of really milking diatonic, harmony for everything it's got, and then some, But there's a lot you can do with it if you kind of move up and down the registers of your instrument, implying triads and different types, and creating melodies. You don't have to stick to just a strict diatonic, form, whether it's a mode. I mean, to me, a mode is just the same thing as a major scale, just starts on a different step. So it has the half steps and whole steps in a different place. So with me and my students, I don't worry about confusing them with all that. But if some people like to think in terms of modes and some don't. So anyway, I think more in terms of color and sound. But anyway, here's the idea, so I can show you kind of what I did with this idea of building melodies in the first couple strings. So here we go. I gotta play slow here because I haven't worked this out yet. But the reason that I share things that I don't have wired yet is I'm trying to share my process, okay? So you don't need to send me an email and say, whoa, once you get that down, you know. I mean, I like the comments that I get from people. I'm going to be honest, sometimes it seems like people say the obvious a little too much, okay? So you don't always have to tell me the obvious, like, hey, you know. But anyway, to hear how I'm building those melodies, you know, and I just keep moving it around and creating new melodies and new motives. Kind of like this on the front pickup. See? Yeah, that's what I was doing. I was throwing that in. Kind of want. But see, it's that. Now, how much more interesting is that than just you know, I'm not here again. I know I'm stating kind of a paradox and probably challenging something I might have said earlier. But that's the thing. Everything sounds like a paradox when you explain it because it's true and it's not true. But my thing is, there's a time when you might just want to do something a little simpler, like you might have a part of a piece. But the idea of what I'm talking about today is linking melodies together. So there I'm kind of using a melodic minor, right? And I like to add that one extra note to the melodic minor. But those kind of ideas. So the idea is kind of to learn from Bach, about taking massive, like Ted Green says, take massive doses of diatonic ideas, just keep mixing it up and throwing it out there. But when you put those melodies together, it really takes on a nice magic, See, I'm kind of taking the same da 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 da, and then go up the right da 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 da, and keep moving that idea up. See, here, then move it. I got to make these videos shorter so they upload a little bit quicker, but that's the idea. So as transitional devices, besides things like this, practice doing melodies. So I'm going to stop right there so it downloads. But anyway, you can have fun. Work on those transitional devices. Doing little melodies and maybe, you know, mix that up with eighth notes and triplets. But that's what I wanted to share. This guitar is available too, $449 with a hard case. It's really a nice guitar. All right, take care. Bye-bye.